can't talk about confidence without talking about leadership. Leadership is such an important topic in that if you want to be leading in your industry, you have to be a leader in your real life, right? So that's always been my goal, is to be a leader in my industry, to not just follow trends, but to make trends, to pave the way of how I can help my clients grow, build, and express their brand in a way that is like so aligned for them. I never want to show up to a photo shoot or to a course like this and say, this is exactly how you have to do it, my way or the highway. That's never been how I roll. And that is against the grain of the way most people do it. But it matters to me that self-expression is at the forefront, right? That's one of my keys. Beauty and making it look good. Some people are like, oh yeah, it doesn't really matter as long as you have the right wording. I'm sorry. I think it really matters that the shit looks good. So I'm going to lead with that. I'm going to teach with that. And that's why you hired me, because that's clearly a value of mine if you look at anything I've ever made. And leadership also means that I can very clearly say, this is what I'm good at, this is how I want to lead, and this is the way in which I'm going to do it. I want to do it in a way that makes you feel like you have the power. I have been in so many groups, classes, mentorship, all sorts of things. I love learning. That's also a core value of mine. And I love bettering myself. So I have, since I'm a teenager, been engrossed in so many ways of doing this. And a thing that I have noticed in a lot of mentorship, coaching type things is the whole idea that you need your coach, your mentor, your teacher, and you can't do it without them. And I say bullshit to that. What I want is for you to not need me. I want you to obviously hire me to do all sorts of fun things, but I want you to have all the skills to know, okay, yeah, I now have the skill to know that I'm a leader and I can trust myself and I can trust my values, and these are the choices I'm going to make, and I don't need anyone to tell me yes or no. I know for myself. That's what I want you to lead with. That's what I want you to leave here in this course with, is knowing that you have all of that at your disposal and it's all underneath, and all I'm doing is helping you pull it out of your own self. So when you are leading in your industry, when you are leading online, when you are leading in your brand, there are some things you absolutely fucking need. You need to know, obviously, what your purpose and your passion is. That's why we talked about that last week. If you're feeling a bit shaky on that, this is the perfect time to really get solid on it, because you're going to start actually leading. You're going to start actually talking about it. You're going to view yourself as a leader in this. And if it feels like something, oh yeah, shit, yeah, like I am a leader in this, it's going to direct you, because when you start talking about something you're passionate about, it just like rolls off the tongue, right? Like it's easy for you to talk about because you fucking love it and you care about it so much. If it's something that's like, oh, this is hard to talk about and I don't really know what I'm saying, then we got to morph it into in some way. It's got to be based on what your passion and your power and all of these things are, so that you can freely talk about it. Maybe you're nervous on camera, but if you were one-on-one with me, could you talk about this all day, right? That's another way to dive in. Like, is this something that really matters to me, in the sense that I could talk about it all day and you can't make me shut up about this, right? So when you're thinking about being a leader, what does being a leader mean to you? I want you to write some of this out. Like, who are 3 leaders that you fucking adore, that you think, if I could be a leader in any space, I'd want to be like that person? And then think of 3 people who maybe you don't like how they lead. So maybe it's a politician, maybe it's an online coach, maybe it's somebody in your community, maybe it's a teacher, whoever it is. Think about, why did you not like their style of leadership? And how would you counteract that? What would be the opposite of that you would want to do? How would you want to lead? If you had to today lead a group of people and train them in the things that you're passionate about, how would you want to lead them? How would you want them to feel when they were done with the experience of learning from you or working with you? This is something that is so important, because it doesn't really matter what kind of brand you have. You're always going to be working with clients. You're always going to be working with customers. You're always going to be speaking to market yourself. So you have to know how you want that to sound, how you want it to feel for the other people, right? We've all had experience of being led by someone, even if you feel like you've never been a leader. If you've always felt like, oh, maybe I'm just a follower. If if you want a personal brand, you have to start leading. And you may not have experience in ways you have led, but every one of us have been led by somebody, right? Whether it is the person leading our country, or it's the person leading our school that we went to when we were kids, or secondary education, or a coaching container, any of those things. Think about how you want to be led and how you felt in those things and how you want people to feel while they're working with you. Because how people feel when you market to them, and how people feel when you work with them, and how people feel when you're done working with them, all matter, right? We don't want to just be like, oh, I'm going to do amazing at marketing, but then when they get into the client experience, who fucking cares? Like, they'll figure it out. I got their money. I'm done with them. Hell no. We want the entire thing, from the first time they hear about you and who the fuck you are, to when they're done working with you, they've paid all their money, they've gotten all the things, and they're like completed with you. We want the whole thing to feel great, to feel like you've supported them, to feel the way you want to be led. How do you want people to feel through that whole process? This is going to direct how you market. This is going to direct your client experience. All of this is so, so, so important. And that's why we're tackling it at the very beginning. Like, we are getting on this shit now so that you can lead with this, and this is how we're going to build all the things. Like, I don't want to talk about messaging until we've talked about leadership, because it's so, so, so important. I'm sorry about the barking. My neighbor's dog is barking and they do not stop. Anyways, so for me, I want people, when I'm leading them, I want them to feel like the power is coming from themselves. I want them to feel like they have options. I want them to feel well supported, and I don't ever want them to feel pressure or panic. I have had situations, many in my life, where I felt so much pressure to do more, to be more. I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing enough. And you cannot grow your business in that state of like, God, I'm never doing enough and everyone's doing better than me. It doesn't work. It just makes you lose your shit. And then you can't be effective. So that's why in my messaging, I hand you the power. And that's why in this training, I'm handing you the power. I'm giving you the tools. I'm here to support you, but you're finding the power inside yourself and you're building this. I can't build it for you. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You cannot have somebody else build a personal brand for you. It just simply doesn't work. So that's why we're talking about it. Leadership. Let's talk about it. Bring all of these things that you've written down about the leaders you love, the ones you don't love, how you want people to feel while you're leading them. Bring it all into our Voxer group so that we can talk about it, so we can dig into it, and so we can really get it specific to you and the things that you care about, right? I want your values and your leadership, they're hand in hand, baby. Little group project. It's a group project between you and your values and your leadership. Okay, I'm really excited. I really hope you liked last week. Make sure you jump in and find your affirmations and your journal prompts for this week, and I can't wait to see you in Voxer. Bye.